goddamn angry that I just finished yelling into a microphone for about 8 minutes in the bathroom before I got on here so that I could go ahead and not just lapse into a profanity-laced rant that would just get your channel banned. I am so goddamn disgusted, Gary, on so many levels.
My thoughts exactly, Mr. Overlord DVD. Well, here we go. The last 2 episodes and overall season review of season 1 of The Wheel of Time on Amazon Prime. I'm pissed. I am extremely pissed. And we are going to go over why. Please allow me to bring in my wonderful guests. First off, Mr. Von Lustrak.
My old enemy. You cannot hide from me.
I feel like the intro is a little inappropriate for this. Because this one is not old, and I don't care enough to call it an anime.
True. Well, let's bring in our friend Balerion. And I think that this one is, well, he's not very angry at this show. He's more just apathetic toward it. But I'm pissed, so I figure I might as well use this. Greetings. You there?
Well,
apparently
he's muted,
not.
So
apparently not.
Well, did you just mute me, or was I muted already?
You were muted already.
You were muted.
Okay. Oh, that's why you were talking over me. I thought you were just being obnoxious. As I was saying, so you missed my entire mini rant. I was just saying, you have no taste, but I forgive you because you were probably raised on rap, and pop music has had no character since the 1980s.
I agree with the latter end, but I was not raised on rap.
Bother.
Yeah.
So anyway, no. In terms of being angry, in fact, I was going to open by saying, "Oh, are we doing Wheel of Time today?" That's how I was going to open.
You kind of remind me of Geriatric Pooh Bear when you said that.
Dive streaming. I did tell you no geriatric several months ago.
Sounds like a gas baby. Bring it on.
But I did tell you no geriatric several months ago.
That's so funny. Well, I could always just do, Daddy, would you like some sausage?
You could. Maybe, would you like to do this by yourself?
Wow, you really hate that. You really hate it.
Why are you being such a jerk today? What happened? Did you get off the wrong side of bed or what?
I always get off the same side of the bed, so that doesn't work.
Well, I guess you get off the even more wrong side of bed than usual then.
Okay. So, episodes 7 and 8. I'm actually thinking I'm thinking that I should have just put it as one big episode, since that's what this is in many respects. and they kind of interweave together. Ultimately, this is going to be our last 2 episodes and season wrap up, where we talk about how everything has come together in a crashing, colliding mess.
That's rather dramatic for this show.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, this show's boring. Like, this show's really boring. Like,
It really is.
this, like, just as a show, there is nothing interesting about it. The action is pretty pretty boring. There's no smart intrigue. The characters are extremely blandly written, even by comparison to their book counterparts. Nobody does anything that would get me invested in them. It just is there. And it pisses me off.
I mean, the premise is interesting, but then the premise comes from the books, right?
Yes. And they've changed a lot.
Yeah.
And unlike Prince Caspian, this is not better than the book.
I'm not going to fight you about Prince Caspian. I'm not going to fight that battle. Sorry, if you want me to fight that battle, I'm not going to.
Well, kind of at the point where, well, kind of my criteria for Prince Caspian is if there are more improvements over the book than downgrades, then the book is not as good as the movie, since more improvements were made. That's my criteria for why I say that it's better.
Yeah, well, the structural problems in Prince Caspian, not of course, Prince Caspian is much more interesting than the show.
Yeah.
But what was I saying? Yeah, the structural problems in the book are pretty serious. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, back to Wheel of Time. So the first thing that we have is they go so. Man, I just don't want to talk about this, but I have to. Oh,
Oh no, this is great. This is great.
So it's
Sorry.
so bland and uninteresting. So they go through the ways, and it's fine, but they go and they find out how the Trollocs are moving. So they go through the ways, and apparently somehow Podden Fane, even though he's not able to channel, like they have established is what you need to do in order to get into the ways, is just following after them. Somehow.
And this is established in the show too.
Yeah. And this show feels like it's been hacked apart in the editing room. Go for it.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I still don't really know who Podden Fane is.
He is the black merchant guy.
Okay, and why is he following them?
Because he's a dark friend.
Oh, okay. Is that stated anywhere in the show?
He's palling around with a pair of Murdral in the final episode.
Oh, was he? Nah. I must have
Yeah.
blinked and missed it. Nah.
Yeah. So let me see. Let me actually pull up copy an image onto this, since it's pertinent. It's since let's see, image. Let me stop sharing for a second. But yeah, that Podden Fane is I'll skip to the Eye of the World a bit to show an image of Podden Fane with the horn. Maybe that'll be helpful. this is the guy I'm talking about.
The
guy with the box.
Yep.
Yeah, I see the guy. Okay.
That's so he's explicitly he's a dark friend, and he's like, that's why we sent the Trollocs after you five, because you're all Taviran, focal points of the pattern. It's like it's missing a significant amount of context for how the Dark One was able to find them. But that's adaptation, isn't it? So much.
Honestly, if apparently, like, how many fades or merge roll were there in the final battle? 60?
Yeah, they only show one.
Like, okay. It's like send in 10 of those into the two rivers and grab them.
Yeah.
Like, functionally, that's all you need.
Yep. Admittedly, they sent about 4 and several hundred Trollocs after them in the books. The initial strike force of about 100 and one merge roll came into the two rivers, and they didn't expect to have an Aes Sedai and a warder destroy most of the army before they could do more than light a few of the houses on fire.
Wow, the Aes Sedai sure are underpowered in the show compared to what I'm hearing from the books.
Yeah. Unless it's this episode where they nuke where 5 women who are mostly who are only semi well trained nuke 10,000 Trollocs.
Yeah, that's something.
Yeah. Admittedly, 2 of them are Egwene and Nynaeve, who are part of the Supergirls team, colloquially nicknamed in the books. And then you have and then you have 3 red shirts. Well, 2 red shirts and Lady Amalisa, who's about to be a red shirt. And
then they...
Not really.
That's my summing up of this episode. And then they bleeped.
You can say and then they bone, it's fine.
I
don't know, I think the bleep is funnier.
Really?
Yeah, I think it is.
I honestly think it's funnier when they censor it than when they don't.
Okay. Yeah. So they get through the ways, they're followed by Pod and Fane. They get to the exit way gate when somebody channels. We think it's Egwene, but it's revealed later that it's not. And then they get to the end. And Nynaeve goes Super Saiyan, defending them from the Eldritch Black Wind, which looks more like something out of the Matrix or Man of Steel.
It talks like an obnoxious mean girl or something.
Yeah. I didn't say that they had reasons. I didn't say they were good reasons. I said there were reasons why they would change this. I'm not saying that I like it. I'm saying that there are possibilities. And by this point, they've revealed, no, these changes were stupid. From Jump Street.
Oh man, I love how Nynaeve has the power to go Super Saiyan with 1 power whenever the plot needs her to.
Since episode 1, you tortured me with that line.
I mean, it's one thing to say that something needs to be changed. It's quite another to say that the change that has been effected is a good one or an effective one.
Yeah. which by the end of the show, it was proven that their decision to make the Dragon Reborn, the identity of the Dragon Reborn, a mystery rather than just they're after you. We don't quite know why, but we're going to get you out. Yeah, change needs good reason, and I was looking toward the future. But unfortunately, I was looking toward the future. But the problem is, the future has now been solidly butchered by this point. They have,
the Schrodinger's box has been opened.
Yep. Yep.
And the cat is dead.
Yep.
Oh no!
No, you're fine. You're only part cat.
Oh well, still. At least it could be worse. At least it wasn't a Trolloc that got killed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah. After that, we have the whole Agomar talks to the Aes Sedai as if she's badgering, as if he's a manager at Walmart and she's a Karen bugging him for another product.
Oh my god! That's, how long did it take you to come up with that simile?
1 second.
Not bad.
Yeah, she comes in offering him help, and he just looks at her like he's an overworked Walmart employee dealing with a shrieking Karen. And then she tells him, "Hey, the ways are now open to Trollocs. You should probably consider boarding up the way gate." Thing is, they don't get there in time, and Padam Fane walks out of it. Yeah, that does not make sense. Yep. Yeah, Shinar has no Aes Sedai. Yeah. So what? So Wilder is a reference to somebody who isn't an Aes, who knows vaguely how to channel but isn't an Aes Sedai.
Oh, okay, presumably female.
They're all female. There's no such thing as a male Wilder. They're all gentled until as soon as they're found.
Yes, that's why I said presumably female. Yes.
Yeah, and honestly though, male channelers are generally stronger than female channelers. The caveat is they can't link their strength together. So,
and they're evil.
Also, depending, yeah.
They're not
Yeah,
evil.
you also go mad after a while.
They're not evil. They're it's not that they're evil. It's that the male thing in the wind power is tainted. That's what.
Yep. Yeah, Machin Shin look kind of like Nano Megatron from Transformers 4. Yeah.
Nano Galvatron.
Yeah. And apparently it speaks, it's like a mean girl, but it also speaks the truth, which is kind of annoying because it gives some measure of credence to the idea that Perrin and Rand and Egwene are in a love triangle, and I'm just, that makes that just love triangles in general, do not do them. Please quit doing them. They are stupid.
But I ship Perrin and Egwene.
I think a lot of people did after the book. But...
Well, they seem to have more chemistry than Rand and Egwene do.
Yeah, well, at this point, I don't disagree.
Well,
you clearly think that they're like able to write a better story than Robert Jordan. Otherwise, they would word for word adapt it, or if they did adapt it, they would change very little.
Well, I don't know
or
about
have a chat with Brandon Sanderson and be like, okay, what are some things that would have maybe like slipped through the cracks and could probably be done better?
Supposedly he was consulted. But yeah, I don't know about SJW. I don't really see a lot of that. I mean, I think they're trying to. I think it's mostly marketing. They're trying to market. That's why the females are so overpowered. They think this is what women viewers want to watch.
Yeah. There's also the element that none of the men do barely anything. The only person who does anything heroic is Lan and Tom. None of the others get to do anything, really.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tom didn't show up again this season.
Nope. He vanished.
That's gonna be really fucking weird if he shows up again in season 2. Oh yeah, we saw you. We saw you fight a Fade last time.
So Wisp, just so you're aware, Kepler doesn't believe in the SJW narrative. He just sees it as bad writing and lazy writing,
it is.
I'm very dubious because it keeps being applied to things like the TLJ. I just didn't see it. Here I kind of sympathize. I kind of agree with Preston Jacobs on this one, where Preston Jacobs like, no, it's not. he kind of has a bit of your no, it's not disease, or maybe you got it from him. I don't know, but anyway, he had a point though. No, I don't see it. I think it's like people on the right or white people or whatever just get paranoid about these things and see some kind of powerful left-wing conspiracy controlling everything. And no, the left doesn't seem that powerful. I don't want to get off on that too much, but we don't even have to go into politics. It's the fact that it's bad on its own terms, on aesthetic terms.
Yeah. I agree. With this one, it's not necessarily that the left is powerful. It's that Hollywood is hiring people who lean left to run their shows.
I don't think it's even people who lean left. It's like people who pay lip service to a social issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Even if it is pretty real and serious and complicated.
No comment.
They open. Rafe Judkins has admitted that he is a male feminist. That is definitely accurate.
Yeah.
Though I find the we changed Moraine to give Rosamund Pike a bigger role more annoying, because it feels like that line that we hate from Game of Thrones, we reconceived the role to make it worthy of the actor's talents.
Which is an insult to Adira Vaughn, because they made the role worse for her talents, so that it kind of implies that her talents are kind of rot, which is, I would hope, not true.
Oh man,
I think they should kill all the guys off, don't you?
Yeah, and then put Zoe Robinson in a bikini. I would be fine with that.
And then they should all go lesbian.
Honestly, I think I'd watch that over this.
No comment.
Yeah. So after that, they interact with Min, the soothsayer. What do you guys? I know it's going to be kind of hard because you're trying to remember something that's gone in one ear and out the other after 2 weeks. But what are your thoughts on Min?
Now that you mention her,
I got nothing, honestly.
Now that you mention her,
that's the problem. Nothing in this show is memorable.
Now that you mention it, I remember she exists. And didn't what's her name, Moiraine, threaten her somehow? I kind of missed that, but I gather that happened.
She didn't threaten her. She just kind of reminded her. I kind of just said, like, I need some help. help, and that like kind of without Aes Sedai, you would probably be hounded every minute of every day by a bunch of housewives wanting to know if their husband's unfaithful or not.
Oh, yeah. Okay. And I remember she has that dialogue with Hoo-Ha, Rand, at the end.
Yeah. After he comes to the realization that he is the Dragon Reborn, he's always known it.
And that's why he's hitting all the targets so well, right?
Which, that's the kind of annoying to me because Rand is actually hyper accurate since he's been training for quite a long time with the bow, and it's frustrating to say the least. And just he wasn't focused at all, and then like he had sex with Egwene, and then he started being accurate like you do.
Oh, is that what? No comment.
I guess so. Since he's just blowing off some steam, putting arrows at a target because Egwene dissed Matt, and he stood up to Matt and said, "You're the only one who's ever left me." And then Perrin tells him to apologize. And it's just annoying Arrowverse love triangle nonsense.
I did like it when Rand stood up for Matt, though.
Yeah, I think that is within Rand's character. I find the one thing we forgot to mention is the lady fighting while she's in the throes of labor and killing about 5 guys.
Was that in this episode?
Yeah, that was in this.
I remember that, but I didn't remember it was in this episode. It's like, I guess maybe they're thinking, female viewers want to see strong women. A strong woman is one who's overpowered in a purely superficial sense, that she's like a superheroine, like an anime character, not in the sense of being an interesting character.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, she's just a one-off, and all they really wanted to do is just show that Rand's mom was a badass. That was it. And thing is, you're pretty debilitated. You're pretty debilitated when you're having contractions.
I mean, I wouldn't know, but I assume you are.
Like they're like, yeah. So like even like a guy putting a kidney stone out, he's pretty much like down for the count. And that's for something probably about the size of a marble, around, give or take. If it's a woman, it's a kid, it's a thing the size of a soccer ball, all being pushed out.
I mean, how do you even stand up? I mean, like she wasn't standing up, was she? But how was she fighting them up? Sorry.
Well, she's doing acrobatics and gymnastics around one of them. Like she jumps around a guy, slides, pulls him down, and then shoves a spear through his face. And then she fights 3 guys at the same time. It's just, no, that baby is smoothie in there. That baby is dead. There's no way that baby is alive. Yeah, kinda.
Kind of what? Let's see.
Yeah, change Machin Shin from eating souls to being mean. The worst thing is they say that Machin Shin eats souls.
Maybe that's how it eats souls.
Yay.
Power word, soul eat.
Yeah.
Roll
One
a
of the
Constitution check.
And then we finally see a flashback from episode 1 that has not been set up this entire season of Rand and Tam going through the woods, and Tam telling him, "You're not my," talking about how he found a baby on Dragon Mount, and found a lady, a female Aiel giving birth in the snow. He helps her give birth, and he takes her son and raises him as his own, which has not been set up this entire show. There has been no indication that Rand is having any internal conflict over this. It has been really
it has been set up that Tam is not his real dad, but beyond that,
Yeah.
I mean, was Rand even thinking about his parentage this whole time?
Not really, no.
I mean, or did I miss
Like,
it?
it's mentioned like once, I think.
Yeah, there's
I
one
don't
scene
think it
where
goes beyond that in the whole show.
yeah, it's mentioned one time that having red hair is a sign that you're Aiel. That is the extent to the setup for this moment.
Isn't there one scene where he's like, "Oh, you really think the man who raised you is your father?" I feel like there was a scene like this.
That's at the end. That's after this.
Oh, right. I can't even remember the order of events here.
Was that in one of these episodes?
It was in episode 8.
Oh God, how did I miss that? Well,
Well, that's the thing about this. It's not, you don't remember the sequels very well, and the sequels are technically worse than this. This is more bland and uninteresting.
but
Oh yeah. There is a moment where it says, "You look like an Aielman." I'm not an Aielman. An Aielman from the Two Rivers who says he's not an Aielman. That is odd. I like oddities. That's the extent of it.
that guy's voice is that Loyal? That guy's voice is great.
Yeah, his voice is great. He looks terrible though.
Yeah, he looks like something out of one of the Narnia films, the BBC ones.
Yeah, he kind of does.
Like, weren't those made in like the 80s?
Yes.
Oh no, is this Moiraine?
You'd think you'd manage to get better.
Dream have power. Don't listen to them. Siwan, whatever the blazes bleeping name is. I had a dream. Oh my God! Tell me, Queen. and then they bleeped.
And then they fuck.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's just very little consequence happens otherwise, other than Nynaeve meets Lan's adoptive family. Partially to set up the fact that they bone later on, but also the fact that Lan's foster dad's wife is one of the red shirts that dies at the end of near the middle of episode 8 because she gets burned out when they link together. It's just so pointless. It is probably mostly because COVID, but I'm only going to give so much leeway for COVID and the fact that the Matt actor has vanished.
Okay, this is what Daniel Green was saying in his review.
Yeah.
Incidentally, his review is not all that favorable to me. I don't know that Daniel Green at all, but my impression, it sounded to me as though he was trying to be nice. That's the impression I got.
he was nice to the Long Night. For context, it was only after it was only after episode 4 that he was like, "I'm done. This show sucks. This is terrible."
Maybe it just takes longer to reach that point.
Yeah, and when he was doing, okay, Fedora Lareza, are you a bot? If you're a bot, if you're a bot, I'm gonna ban you. I have full right. I am fully within my rights to do that.
Say something real, so we'll know you're not a bot. No offense. Oh, there's another one. Alexander Lavrentiev.
I am fully within my rights to kick bots. If you don't say anything in a real sentence with actual syntax, I will ban you. I don't care.
You're such a tyrant. You're suppressing free speech.
That implies.
You are correct, sir.
I never said that was bad, by the way.
I know. That's why I say you're correct in a positive tone. I know you're not a bot space junk.
Wouldn't it be a riot if he was?
That'd be impressive bot work since I got my cover from him.
Well, a very talented one. What? Sometimes this chap is a riot.
I have no idea what this means. Surlicatch? I don't know what that means.
I think it just means the same thing as Voom Ungo means.
No. Fine, I'm banning them. I'm blocking you. Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. Okay. And whatever that is, since Vum.Nigo.
Alexander Lavrentiev.
Yeah, I'm blocking you. Blocking you. You're clearly bots. I don't care. All right. So after that, Rand meets up with Min, and she tells him the story of how Rand was so powerfully Taviran that he unlocked her abilities to see the future, and the first vision she saw was of a man with a heron-marked blade carrying a baby who wasn't his to a sheep farm in between two rivers. And after that, Rand leaves with Moraine to go to the Eye of the World. There, 1 hour summarized and very little was left out, other than we get Rand's backstory that he's a prince who lost his kingdom, and him and Nynaeve sleep together.
And then they bleeped.
Yes. Yeah, that was extremely bland, uninteresting, and completely exposes a lot of the failings of this show, where they were like, "No, we want we want a mystery. We gotta have a mystery.
We gotta have a mystery." Yeah. I'm sorry.
So the mystery,
J.J. Abrams tier mystery right here.
Kill it. Pardon me.
yeah, J.J. Abrams. Yeah, this has. Oh, Wisp would have. I think Wisp would have actually blown a blood vessel if that had happened. Since she's trans herself, and whenever I mention the idea of people demanding trans representation in the Wheel of Time, she blows her top. Especially since she's like, no, being trans is being mentally ill. I can speak from experience. It's terrible. This is like, you're the trans person in this scenario, so if you say it, I'll believe you. Yeah. Yeah. So, episode 8. This is where it gets actually really, really stupid.
Episode 8, The Pain of the World.
Not incorrect. So, the main issue that has been created is that Rand, even though he is the Dragon Reborn, has been very poorly characterized this entire time, since most of his characterization, where he is somewhat angsty over the fact that he loves his dad and he doesn't want to believe that Tam is not his dad, but we get no indication that he is feeling this at all.
I don't remember that.
Exactly. He is. Yeah. Yeah. To be fair, Wish calls it on this under the dark side of narcissist. Lol. Yeah. Tam exists very briefly, which is a shame because, well, it kind of seems as though like they didn't set up the characters very well, and episode 5 and 6 were pointless filler in a lot of ways. Subway stop. So the eye was pretty much a subway stop of the ways, and the blight was a sinister speed bump. Yeah, kinda. There was a lot of like they really wanted to speed things up for the end 2 episodes, and I can give some measure of leeway because they had to construct a set rather than going to a location because of COVID. So that was a neat workaround, at least for the blight. And yeah, and apparently they were going to jump out of the ways at the Eye of the World. Which that whole thing was really confusing. And the blight was just a slight delay. Also, how did the Trolloc army miss Moraine and Rand as they were running past them toward Faldara? I have no idea why that happened.
When did that happen?
Well, basically what happens is when Rand and Moraine are walking toward the Eye, they turn around and abruptly there's a Trolloc army going toward Faldara. In the direction they have just barely been coming from.
Well, also not to mention the Dark One knows how to find them. Anyway,
Yeah.
so why can't he send Trollocs after them? I guess. Okay.
Maybe he
that's
told them to
later on.
miss them because it's a trap and he wants to get out. And apparently the Dragon Reborn can break Unbreakable Quaindiar. When that's
Unbreakable who?
Unbreakable Quaindiar Heartstone. It's that so the round thing that Moraine and Rand are sitting on, that's called Quaindiar.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Did they mention that in the show?
Yes, it's at the very end.
All right.
Despite
Fair
the
enough.
COVID reasons. There's no reason we've heard any of these reasons unless it was leaked by Amazon. Yeah, this was a really, really bad first season. Even barring COVID, why are the Wilder channelers who are shown to do more powerful things than the fully trained Aes Sedai who are in the upper levels of power not on the wall? Why are they behind it, letting all of the guys die? And then they nuke them in 5 seconds.
Don't touch anything,
Oh,
says she.
Or like, Why does, one of the main villains of the whole series come across as so underwhelming? You can't blame that on COVID.
Yeah, this guy, he's the main villain, and he's somewhat interesting. I'm not punching the microphone. I'm punching my my desk, and because my microphone is clamped to my desk, you hear it. Sorry, but yeah, that's the main bad guy, Fire Eyes, and this is the first time he gets to interact with them, because in anything other than Sinister, like with a capital S from the Sinister movies, Baba Yaga, and it's just there's no engagement with him until this episode. I don't.
Yeah.
It baffles the mind why they would do this. Like, it's like the frickin' Night King all over again.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the way they present him kind of underwhelmingly in this episode, he's trying to tempt Rand. So instead of making him scary in this episode, he's more like a debonair and dapper Italian film star or something. But
he's actually, I think that he's actually Iranian, not Italian.
Okay.
No, the actor is Swedish Lebanese.
Oh, Swedish.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't
okay.
seeing
Yeah,
the
I
actual
looked
actor.
him up, and he's apparently been in a bunch of stuff since 2000. The only thing I know him from is as basically a background extra in Rogue One.
Oh God, that's bad. That's sad. But what was I going to say? But still, the fact that
Well, he has done a lot more, but I haven't seen any of it. So,
but the fact that he doesn't do like in most, there have been like what 2 episodes where the Dark One turned up, and one of them he's the red-eyed guy, and the other one he's this rather pleasant and debonair chap.
So he shows up in episode 2, 3, 4, and 6. No, actually, just 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, and 8.
Okay, so he appeared briefly in dreams before, I guess.
The Dark One, Esquire.
The Dark One, Esquire, very Esquire. He is very Esquire, isn't he?
Faris. His name is Faris.
yes.
Interesting.
Fair
Funnily
enough.
They kind of lampshaded the redundancies of the name with his character in Rogue One, who's named Vaspar.
That's hilarious.
Real
All right.
Star Wars name right there.
But yeah, I like the actor. I just think that they made a really bad choice in making him Baba Yaga from Sinister. I haven't even watched Sinister. I just know that Sinister is based on jump scares coming at you with a guy screaming in your face, or maybe that's another thing. But it's like there's barely any engagement with this guy, and he could be a good villain. He's not a bad villain in this. His performance isn't bad, but he just doesn't engage with any of the boys and doesn't give them any doesn't give him or them any characterization. It's really frustrating.
He has about as much screen presence as a porcupine.
I was thinking a lapdog, but that works too.
I remember this one comment that I made during the commentary. It's he looks like Jim Corrigan, the first Spectre from Crisis on Infinite Earths. And, I can't get that visual out of my head.
Yeah.
I mean, CW Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Mm-hmm.
Well, God damn it! I've looked this guy up, what he's like in the books. Wow, this guy actually seems like he can be a little bit of a threat.
Yeah. Balsman is really
Ishamael.
Yeah, Balsamon and Shamael, same difference. They're the same character. It's just that they call him Balsamon in the first book. I actually don't disagree. The level of money that they put in and the amount of cheapness that comes out, yeah, it's probably money laundering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disbelieve that the CW is some kind of money laundering. They, yeah. And Lan runs off to go find Moraine and does absolutely nothing for the rest of the episode. And while this is going on, somehow he sneaks past a giant Trolloc army.
Somehow.
Well,
Somehow.
he's got powers. Maybe the Aes Sedai. Oh, actually, I remember now. Nynaeve. No, that was tracking. Nynaeve should have had a track because he didn't know how before. Because well,
Yeah, even though he's been with Moraine for 20 years, he should know her tracking tells. Yeah, Trolloc army. Yeah, that whole army teleported to right to. Like there are like teleportation things that Trollocs can use. They even state this. They just come out of the woods in the same direction that Lan and Nynaeve, Lan and Moraine and Rand are going. How did they not run into them? This makes no sense.
especially since I mean it's interesting because we've hardly seen Trollocs for several episodes.
Yeah. And then when they come back, the Trollocs in this episode look terrible. Yeah. Yeah, there's one way in, one way out. Yeah. Well, actually, technically, she screwed him over. He said that they could do it if the women are involved. And she just says, no, we'll just clean up the pieces once you're done.
Oh, Brightlord. There's another one of those weird people in the chat.
All right. Ver.fyi. Bye.
Oksana Palyanina. I like her name.
It's a bot, clearly.
By the way, can we talk about how Moraine takes Rand to the eye of the world and is like, in a dangerous situation, your powers will activate. Just trust that.
Which is so dumb. Yeah, how did they get the giant Trollocs through narrow blight death trees anyway? Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't know how they're going to do that. I don't know how they would do that. Since Moraine and Rand were kind of having a hard time getting through the trees. And they're human-sized. Trollocs are like 7 feet tall. They're giant.
8 feet tall, as described in the show.
Yeah, 8 feet tall, yeah. And death trees, yeah, precisely. You can just nap on them and just get some moss on the hands. Yeah. Yeah, fine. It's totally fine. It's not poisonous. Even though it says it's poisonous.
Don't touch anything.
And then nap on them. And just the passage of time in this episode is really wonky. They say rest for 30 minutes, but also they're traveling for a day. It's like, what? And it's not night.
By the way, the Trollocs are 8 feet, according to Moraine. Rosamund Pike is like 5 feet and 8.5 inches.
Yeah.
That's a pretty significant height difference. Why do they make it through?
Yeah.
The Trollocs.
Yeah. There's just like we're not even comparing this to the books. We're just saying like as a show, the show is stupid. And we haven't gotten to the fact that apparently Shinar is a magical super weapon underneath in its basement, in its proverbial basement. Like they say, to call the pattern's greatest heroes at the last battle. You have not set this up at all. Also, why are you putting this in a very, very easily accessible location where you could blow that horn and nuke a bunch of Trollocs?
Well, we haven't even gotten to the long night tier battle strategy.
Oh, sod that garbage. Oh my gosh. Just, oh.
Really sucks.
A lot. And just, they even use the stupid body ladder bodies nonsense from On the Long Night, which is just why? And it looks terrible. They clearly didn't have enough time. Like, if you compare the Trollocs from episode 8 to the Trollocs from episode 1 and 2, and even 3, the Trollocs in episode 8 look terrible. They look really bad. They just look like video game graphics. Like Daniel Green pointed out, that they look really bad. They're not wide enough. The Trollocs use pickaxes to widen them up. But yeah, they're too low to the ground. Like, they're low enough that the Trollocs can make a body pile ladder. Just,
yeah, also the floor is almost, I don't remember, but it's pretty close to the ground for some reason. With
yeah,
the arrow slits.
yeah. And
Oh no.
I also am like, yeah, the Blight was scary. Yeah, the Blight was way worse in the books. It's basically a wide wasteland with only a few like scrubs of forest. Yeah.
Hogwarts.
Oh gosh. Yeah, there are no stakes. Yeah. Loyal's, yeah, like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really do not understand why. I don't get it. These are basic mistakes. You should not do this. Like, yeah, when the Trollocs kill all the Shinaran men in the gap, in Tarwin's Gap, and then they flood through, and then the 5 women nuke them. At the cost of 3 of them, but only because one of them becomes a sudden drug addict. One magic drug addict.
What?
Honestly, just put these 5 on the wall and just pull a small nuke, and you'll just whittle down the army every time until you're done. That's it. It's over.
Yep.
It's like, from what I have heard, the way this happens in the book is that Rand opens up to the 1 power something, teleports in there, destroys the army by himself. Like, okay, and as far as I understand, this is to show, okay, he is the Dragon Reborn. Being the Dragon Reborn is serious business.
Mm-hmm. And he doesn't even destroy the entire army. He destroys like half. He destroys half of what is left after they've been fighting for quite a while. And it allows them a fighting chance and disorients the enemy army enough for the so yeah, it's a little bit more satisfying. It's less like immediate OTK.
I haven't read the book, so
yeah,
I can't be sure if it's been established that the 1 power allows you to teleport or not. whatever, really.
In the prologue, which they cut out, there is teleportation.
OTK?
One turn kill. It's a reference to a certain. It's a reference to Yu-Gi-Oh, where in certain cases you can win in one turn if you have the right cards.
Something. Oh, I thought Yu-Gi-Oh is an anime.
It is.
It's both. It's an anime and it's a card game.
Oh, okay.
The anime exists to advertise the card game.
Ah, well, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, and it's a pretty fun card game.
Apparently, one turn kill is a thing in D&D as well.
Ah, I see.
So the more common term is TPK, which is total party kill, which is when your entire party is killed in one encounter.
It sounds like a D&D thing.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, But after that, but even then, while this is happening, Rand and Moraine are at the Eye of the World, and Moraine threatens Rand with a knife when she's not able to channel.
She threatens Ishamael with killing him, despite the fact that she can't channel right now.
He should be able to just disintegrate her, or at least disintegrate the knife.
What?
You don't remember that bit?
What?
Well, I think it says a lot that he can't remember the main character being threatened with a knife.
What?
Well, the nominal main character being threatened with a knife by the actual main character.
Actually, I think I do remember a bunch of stuff happening. There was a lot of swirling stuff going on and all this stuff. Was it that bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I do remember dramatic things happening. That must be one of them.
Yeah, he would be. Yeah, he would be. It would be. Yeah, and also just Moraine, and in this show, he needs him to break him loose. Why would he let her get near him with a knife? It's so dumb. Villain of the century, ladies and gentlemen.
Considering that he just used, I'm assuming it's the true power, to take away her connection to the source, and considering what we've seen the one power do across the season, he can literally just fling her into a wall and break her back.
Yep. He could. But he doesn't. And I also just find the fact that Perrin is lured away briefly by seeing Pot and Fane around a corner, even though him and Pot and Fane have not been set up at all. It probably was math.
Oh my god, that's true! They haven't even seen each other before.
Yeah, there is no personal connection at all between Pot and Fane and Perrin. And then abruptly Perrin comes in, and having seen Pot and Fane shank Loyal with a knife in the heart. And then apparently Rafe Judkins came out with a statement that said that Loyal's okay. What?
Wait, what?
I did. The only thing I can say to that is
survey says that's what I thought.
What about the reaction? The what?
I don't.
What reaction?
I think I have it. Oh, right here.
What?
That's what it's all about.
You know what's really funny to me? It's like remember Logain in episode 4? When,
Yeah.
Like in the climax where he tries to break free and like he just breaks out and blasts back to Aes Sedai at the same time. Like what Rand does in the finale is given a hell of a lot more weight, but for some reason it's less impressive. Like
Yeah, kinda.
it
Yeah,
has
that's
so,
actually
it
a very
has
good
so
point.
much less weight.
Yeah, there's nothing like it's not even that funny. It's not that much that's interesting. The only thing that's funny is the unintentional stuff. Like if you watch the book reader commentary, we just like went, wait, what? When they pull out the Horn of Valir from underneath Algamar's throne, why didn't you use that when like they talk about Malkir falling to the Blight and being destroyed and overrun by Trollocs? Why didn't you use the magical super weapon that is right there? Unless you establish that you can't open the case, in which case the magical like chest, but like you didn't set that up. Yeah, it was the reveal that he was the Dragon Reborn was terrible. Yeah, I agree. It was very poorly set up. And they had to do flashbacks to remind you of the moments in the show where it was set up that he was the dragon. Like when he breaks down the door or sees Dragon Mount. And it's like, those are two very small moments. And there's been nothing characterizing him up to that point. It is so frustrating.
Honestly, like having not read the book, I can understand that if you're doing a show, you might want to spread it out in terms of what characters you're focusing on. Especially when you have this many characters.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Rand is supposed to be the main character by all accounts. And the most important character in the whole story. Like,
yeah.
I feel like he's getting the least characterization out of the main characters.
Yep. The only thing I can putting him usually yeah, because I'm pissed. I am so pissed.
Yeah, I mean,
this is my reaction.
I am so pissed. What have you done? You killed it.
I mean, Perrin doesn't get to do that much, although the actor makes what he can of it. I'll give him that.
I
Hello?
feel really bad for Marcus Rutherford. Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
We can hear you just fine.
Yeah. But it's just nothing was really engaging. Yeah, Matt and Rand were the only reasonable characters. And like I'm just so pissed. Like, you have a magical super weapon easily accessible and you don't use it? What is wrong with you people? They would blow that all the time.
I don't recall there being any stated consequence to using it.
Nope, there isn't one. Even in the book, there is no consequence to using them. Other than, as soon as you blow it, you're permanently bound to the horn. And you're the only one who can blow it. As soon as you blow it, it's blown. That is the only consequence.
That's a very strange consequence. Okay.
Yep. It's the main thing that prevents a character blows it, and that makes it useless to nearly anybody else until he dies. So,
but the chap who blows it is fine, right?
Yep, the chap that blows it is fine.
Not corrupted or
No,
anything?
there's nothing bad about the Horn of Valier. It's not like the dagger. It's just basically it's a magical device that calls back the pattern's greatest heroes to fight for whichever side blows it.
So it's like spirit summoning?
Essentially,
Or-
yes. Essentially, yes. That's basically how it works.
Oh, when you mentioned heroes from the past, that reminded me of a fun fact that I think I heard in was it in one of Shad's videos? I'm not sure. That apparently Perun is named after a Slavic thunder god named Perun. That's kind of cool. Little factoid.
Yeah, I think that's actually Brandon Sanderson as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it was. Who knows? One of those chaps. Although the first book is by Hoo-Ha, by Jordan, so I would assume he had something to do with with the names in it.
Yeah.
Matt is the only character I cared a little about in the show, says Space Junk.
The blight was ugly and disappointing. You are correct.
It was.
It looks like any standard haunted bog.
Which is scarier, the blight or the forest in The Wizard of Oz with the talking trees with the kind of weird accents?
I would say The Wizard of Oz because at least that one had consequences.
Fair enough.
Interesting. Yeah, Matt is slightly different when Brandon Sanderson starts writing him, but I think he gets back to how he should have been in Towers of Midnight. Yeah.
Honestly, this feels like a CW show at this point.
Yeah, kind of. It's just not
Like
quite as
higher
obnoxious.
budget, I guess, but
it's not quite as obnoxious and stupid as something like Batwoman. But that's because Batwoman is the worst TV show in existence. Humor or romance, really? I would say romance, yeah, to a certain extent, but I think he's decently funny. Especially in Stormlight Archive. Stormlight Archive has wit, and wit is hilarious. I'm kind of a little bit sad that Brandon Sanderson is giving a lot. Yeah, the show sucks. Yeah, the show is terrible. Yeah, and yeah, like Tarek, even at the first two episodes, he was like, "This is terrible. I hate this."
Well, Tarek just gave up, and then Dunchap said, "When would you like to watch the next episode?" And Tarek says, "Go to hell. That's when."
It's like the funny thing is, I still have not seen episodes 5, 6, or 7 in full, and I don't care to.
Episode 5 is basically filler that focuses on a character who dies at the end of the episode.
Oh, is episode 5 the lesbian one?
That's episode 6.
Oh,
Oh wait, I think I saw episode 5 with you guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
episode
it's the one
5.
with the
That's the one
Order.
where young Gary Oldman dies, right?
Yep, that is accurate. Yeah.
That's the one.
see.
So I have not seen 6 or 7 in full.
They
and I
came
don't care to.
They came to that city that nice city, and Logan was in chains, and oh god, what else happened? Was that the one with those evil night people right outside the gates? That one?
Yep.
I mean, pardon me.
Yeah, that's a good point. We don't have enough time. That's why we need to cut out important stuff. Here, a filler episode that we completely made up. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's to be fair, that's not the only show or film that's done that, where people say, "Oh, they had to cut things out. They couldn't keep all this stuff in there," but then they add their own stuff in. It's like, wait, if you don't have time for X, how come you have time for Y? How does that work?
Well, the worst part is that, like, 8 episodes, you don't have time for any filler. You could do that in something in Legend of the Secret where you have 22 episodes that are about 45 minutes. Filler in that one, you can use that well, but when you only have 8 episodes, no. You do not have time to focus on a filler character, a character who does not exist from the books, who is not characterized at all, who is dead before the beginning of the first book, and who doesn't play a role in the story.
Not to mention that the filler in Seeker is much more enjoyable.
Yeah, it's incredibly entertaining.
Basically everything in Seeker is more enjoyable.
Pretty much. Apart from
even though I would like with, I mean, maybe not considering episode 8. And you might consider this season better than Legend of the Seeker on a pure like craft level. Maybe not with episode 8, but yeah, Seeker is it's so much more enjoyable in this. Go watch that instead.
Yeah, it's free on ABC. It's just free to watch on ABC. You can just watch it for free, and you don't even need to go to a pirate site to watch it. Just watch it for free.
Shout out to Brightness. Pardon me. Shout out to Brightness. Hello there.
Yeah, she said, "Hey Becca, Kelsey are in ...
Oh,
Who's
I
Kelsey?
ordered Mistborn Final Empire from Barnes and Noble, by the way.
Oh, nice.
That's the first one, right?
Wait, who's Kelsier?
Kelsier is the mentor character who in Mistborn, who's a really cool guy, and the fact that he's in Fortnite offends Becca.
He's in Fortnite.
Yeah.
Final Empire is the first, isn't it?
Yes, Final Empire is the first one. Yeah.
Okay, good. The final one is the first one. Okay, good.
So yeah, Final Empire, then Well of Ascension, then Hero of Ages.
Ah, okay, good.
Yeah, it seems as though this, like looking up Google Trends, Wheel of Time. So, like with Wheel of Time, like it seemed like Wheel of Time went down in interest as time went on, based on like the graphs that I've seen.
Pretty understandable.
Whereas something like Witcher Season 2, which I haven't seen yet, is going up in popularity because it seems like people like it more.
Well,
there are some people who don't like it because it's different than the books, and I sympathize, but it seems as though Witcher is having a more positive reception overall than Wheel of Time. Wheel of Time is having a lukewarm reception at best.
So far, season 1 of Witcher's much more engaging.
Yeah, mostly because it's actually more, partially because Witcher is a little bit more more brain engaging, in terms of you have to pay very close attention to the show in order to get what's going on. But I think that that's a pretty neat.
And it has Henry Cavill, which is always a plus.
Yeah, and also, like, here's the thing about Witcher. Witcher's going to bring in the horny teenage boy audience more than Wheel of Time.
Yeah.
Just factually.
Yeah, but even leaving that to one side, one of the things with Wheel of Time is narrative progression seems, I don't know if it's pacing or what, but I don't get a sense of progression from point A to point B in the same way. Whereas with Witcher, in the episodes, you do get that, even with all the jumping around and time and space, which gets confusing. You do get that sense that there's a story that comes at the beginning of the episode and it goes towards the end, and at the end there's some kind of resolution.
Yeah,
the story sort of comes and stops and starts. Like it's not continuous. Like they run, they have this altercation at the ferry, they keep going. There's Shadow Logoth. They keep going. Like there's no real travel. Like, it's like you're fast traveling from place to place and event to event, and nothing is happening.
there's also a lot of the obstacles are very underwhelming. Is a big problem with this show, like, and easily surmounted. Like the dark friend lady in episode 3, where she's chasing around with a sword. And it's just abruptly conflict comes out of nowhere.
It would
After,
help.
like, yeah.
It would help if Nynaeve and Egwene weren't so OP.
Yeah, they're very much fast tracking their power levels. They are not this powerful in the first book. They get more powerful as the series goes on, but in this one, Egwene can barely light a fire once, and she certainly can't link or heal. And the fact that Nynaeve burns herself, gets burned out by Amalisa, drawing way too much of the power through her, that actually creates a lot of problems later on, because it means that they act as fuel. That if you put weaker Aes Sedai with stronger Aes Sedai and somebody is drawing way too much of the power, that puts the Aes Sedai who are weaker at major risk of dying. Because they just get burned out and have earned out. It's really dumb. And then just, yeah, they killed 3 women and burned out 1. Or I don't know what's happened with Nynaeve, but like she looks like she's kind of turkeyed. Looks like a roast turkey.
The funny thing is, from what I've read, Nynaeve is supposed to be one of the most talented channelers in the whole series, and they sort of do this Worf effect, where if they want to introduce an especially powerful character, they'll do something like, "Oh, this character is more powerful than Nynaeve," but it's like you can't have her go Super Saiyan twice in one season. Like,
Yeah.
You sort of make the whole point of you gotta train and this is dangerous thing completely pointless.
Yeah, that CGI dragon was pretty bad. I will not dispute that.
Oh, speaking of training,
Yeah, they don't have any, like, and it's just, and earlier on we had Egwene burn when Egwene and Perrin are captured by White Cloaks in episode 5, and the guy's torturing Perrin to try and force Egwene to channel because he thinks that she's an Aes Sedai, or at least can channel, because he ran into them twice. No, that is stupid. Just
that whole scene was so contrived. Like, for one,
yeah,
this is apparently the same band of White Cloaks that they met earlier.
yeah.
And Valda just so happens to look in their direction while they are in full view and immediately recognizes them from a distance. He's
And
like,
thinks
"Huh."
they're important. Great. It's just
And
I've
apparently,
had 5. Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and fuck off with that question!
and also he can apparently sense and resist powers derived from channeling in this. I don't know if
I
that's
think it's
a
more
power
that-
that he has.
I think it's more just Egwene's fireball was so weak that he could just shrug it off.
Whatever.
Yeah. And then she burns Perrin's bonds and he breaks loose, and then she somehow teleports out of her bonds and stabs the dude from behind. Which is really stupid. Why is everything in so much stuff in this show is basic, stupid, bad writing? It's very annoying. Why is this happening? Why? I don't get why this is. They're making basic amateur mistakes. It makes me really, really scared for Lord of the Rings. Well, admittedly, this means that I am less scared, more certain that Lord of the Rings is going to be a trash fire of epic proportions. Because literally, the guys running it have their only credit is they were staff writers on Star Trek Beyond. That is it. For their body of work.
Nothing to say.
Yeah, it's idiotic. Why are you hiring these people? They have literally done nothing. The only things otherwise they have are Lord of the Rings and a Flash Gordon show that's in pre-production. And you give Lord of the Rings to these chuckleheads?
Wait,
what?
The only other thing they have is in pre-production, so it's not even being completed yet.
Yup.
Oh. Is this like Brian Cogman and so forth? Did they bring people coffee and stuff and get somehow?
I mean, I wouldn't
Probably.
be surprised.
Probably.
Are they like glorified coffee boys and coffee girls? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think so, because the only thing they did was staff writing on the 3rd live-action modern Star Trek movie.
Which is bad, by the way.
Yeah.
3rd live-action modern Star Trek movie. So you're
Star
not talking
Trek
about
Beyond.
You're not
Yeah.
talking about Star Trek 3 or anything like that, because that's from the 80s.
No,
or something.
not the Search for Spock. That's old Star Trek.
No.
Yeah, that's
No,
old. You said new. So
Yeah,
Talking about
there was
Star Trek
a
Beyond from 2016.
yeah. That is
Yep.
the extent of their writing credits before this point in time.
apparently Star Trek has gone really horrible lately too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard.
Yeah. I have actively refused to watch anything of Star Trek Discovery, mostly because I have heard that it is some of the worst garbage on TV, apart from maybe Batwoman. But that's because Batwoman is mind-bendingly awful. And the only way I'm able to watch that is watching it via EFAP. That's the only way I'm able to watch it.
I mean, Batwoman is sort of a funny comparison because people talk all the time about liberal agenda, and yeah, in Batwoman, I can sort of see where they're coming from.
Yeah,
So-
because they're like throwing the talking points in your face. And just say, and as well as like the writers are, it also seems like it was a crap show behind the scenes where nobody got along. Ruby Rose nearly died on set and had to go to the hospital. Yeah. But yeah. This was a really bad outing. I'm gonna change the title of this to Show Watcher Edition, since we're gonna be doing a full book versus show comparison where we talk about everything, and we will be pissed.
Honestly, I don't care what label you put on it. Every
It's-
label under the sun has been put on this.
Yeah. Honestly, just like I just find this so annoying that there's not there that the that like they're trying to set up Rand as a main character, but it's just they've done no focus on him. They've done no focus on any of the characters. It's so
Yeah, by the
annoying.
way, I just remembered. There's like this whole thing about how everyone who goes to the Eye of the World that isn't the dragon is going to die. Rand fucks off and leaves the stilled Moraine there, and then Lan just shows up. So like, not only did Rand just leave Moraine to die, but then they broke the rules by having her survive.
Yeah. Well, also, she should have died because in the fight between Rand and the Dark One, because that's what it said, like, caught between two forces of nature, she'll die.
Yeah, that's not even mentioning being killed by Ishamael.
Yeah. It's so annoying. I don't understand what is going. I don't understand why they're making these amateur mistakes other than they're putting a measure of agenda above storytelling to a certain extent.
Honestly, I don't think it's even that. I think it is someone who I think it goes
just a
something
moron.
like the show, like they put out a request for, or they put out a call. Okay, we want someone to run a show, and some amateur out there says the right thing at the right time that they want to hear, and then that person gets put in charge.
Yeah, I actually think that that's actually a pretty good assessment.
I'm sorry, I had to step out. What was that? It sounded interesting.
So there's sort of this perception that things are being ruined because
of an agenda,
socialist, feminist, liberal, whatever agenda. What I think is happening here is that companies want to score brownie points with people on social media. So they put out a call for people to make things. And it, like, if the person says the right thing to the right people, they will get on board regardless of their actual qualifications. And that's sort of the way things always are in showbiz, which is it's a matter of who you know, not what you know. But it's come to a point where you have someone goes from getting coffee to the director to being an executive producer without anything in between.
Yeah, so there's that, and there's that, and
So
there's
I think
marketing.
it's just a product of rank incompetence.
you were saying something, Valerian?
Yeah, I mean it's that and it's marketing. So I think those are the real. Yeah, I think this agenda thing is overblown, but whatever.
It could be. I know Shad started to comment it like it's just the men. It's basically kind of the idea that men have had the majority of screen time and majority of like narrative focus in a lot of movies. So there's kind of a unilateral shift to try and put females into more of this or of the limelight, but it's coming at the cost of the male characters are mostly bland and have nothing to do. Like we saw in Star Wars, where Kylo Ren is a terrible villain, and Poe
Finn gets
sucks.
wasted.
Finn gets wasted. Oscar Isaac, Poe is wasted.
Yeah, and they think this. I guess they probably also think this is what women want to see, and they're like, There are a lot of women out there, so they think this is what women want. I suspect that might also be part of it. But I'm just speculating, but that would be my guess.
We got another bot in the chat. Oh,
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
nothing
Yeah.
already.
no, I killed it. It's fine.
Oh, I missed it.
He
Bother.
gone bot.
Yeah.
Did it have Cyrillics in its name?
I have no idea. I can't read it.
Well, if you couldn't read it, was it Cyrillic?
It does look like it's Cyrillic, yeah.
Okay.
Cyrillic, and it posted like a dot, whatever.
How did those things suddenly turn up? I don't think you've ever seen them before.
I've gotten porn bots occasionally in my comments, but this is the first time bots have shown up in my live streams.
Yeah, I've seen them in the I've seen them in the comments. Yeah, not that you mention it.
Yeah.
See, Wisp, you say that. If they wanted to make money, they wouldn't make this. The funny thing is, this makes money.
Which is even more frustrating. Like, you can honestly take a look at crap like TLJ and say, technically TLJ made money. Rise of Skywalker, I don't believe for a second Rise of Skywalker made money. Because
Solo
just doing the
definitely
math.
did not make money.
Yeah, Solo did not make money. The only thing that, and also people hated Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, the profits are going down, but I think they're kind of like, they don't care so long as they keep making money, because they can claim from stuff like Disney Plus that's just, no, it's making money. We still have the same number of subscriptions. We're still making about the same amount of money. It doesn't matter who's watching what. It's just they're fine with it. And also, like, they're seeing Mandalorian is positively reviewed on Twitter because of really stupid fan service, like Luke Skywalker showing up at the end of season 2. It was a stupid Deus Ex Machina.
Space Junk has some random Hebrew letters in the chat. He's obviously a bot.
No, he's not a bot. He actually understands sentence structure.
Bother.
Boba Fett makes money. It's like, most people seem to like Book of Boba Fett. Like, it's not good, but people seem to like it already.
That's the same thing that's happened with Mandalorian. It's the same thing that's happening with this. It's the same thing that happened with The Boys. This is so annoying. I am now officially looking forward to House of the Dragon.
Well, you weren't before?
No, I was thinking it would be like I was thinking that this would be the best out of the bunch of, like, I knew Lord of the Rings was going to be the worst, but I thought that House of the Dragon's probably going to be kind of lame. I don't think it's going to be that good. Now I'm just like, I now have more hope for it. After seeing this, it's basically like after seeing some hideously ugly girl on the blind date thing, now seeing somebody that seems more average, it was a lot more appealing.
Brightness Becca points out that Space Junk is 100% a bot.
Some lol, I walk away and miss bot drop. But yeah, it's like House of the Dragon, this is the best friend that House of the Dragon could possibly have.
Wouldn't it be a riot if the showrunners for House of the Dragon had deliberately sabotaged Wheel of Time so that they would have more success with their show?
No, if they had, it would have looked more bland. It would have been less bland and more of an embarrassing train wreck. It would have been hilarious. This is not hilarious. So stupid and annoying. I just cannot stand this. It's so frustrating. Like Lord of the Rings, that's dead in the water. That's dead on arrival. There's no chance in hell that it's going to be good.
Wouldn't it be a ride if it turned out to be brilliant and we were like, oh my god?
It would be great.
The funny thing about the Lord of the Rings show on Amazon is that there are a lot of rumors and such that I think have been possibly blown out of proportion by websites like theonering.net, which is for some reason people treat that as like the de facto representative of not just Lord of the Rings news, but the Lord of the Rings community, when it's not.
The thing that most
the way it presents things, it kind of just damages the whole thing.
I honestly am more annoyed. The thing that mostly scares me about Lord of the Rings is, one, the showrunners have literally done nothing, and we know nothing about it. There's not even been any like spy photos. There's no information on what the show is about. There's no press releases about with the cast. There's nothing about it.
So far, I think the closest we've gotten is a leak of the cast list and the characters.
Yeah,
Cool.
I think that's the most we have.
Can I go on a very, very brief tangent on the onering.net because it might be amusing?
Go for it.
Well, firstly, I know someone who's one of the moderators or something, and he's a very likable chap. But unrelated to that, I went and joined there several years ago. I posted some weird parody thing. One of them was about this. Remember the super sex geology teacher that I did on the number 69 writer showcase? So I posted some stuff from him, and that got mildly censored. But then I did it. But then because they want to be very family friendly. But then I did another parody thing that I thought I'd toned down, and the whole thing got deleted completely by a different moderator. So I'm like, you know what? It's kind of weird, but I think I'm too
crass for this place.
I think I'm too dirty for this group.
Honestly, that is one of the funniest things I've ever heard, because you're one of the most sanitary people I know.
I know, right? But it's that was my. At that point, I just gave up because I'm like, you know what, this is not going to work out. But
yeah, I honestly am just so angry at this show. I'm just pissed. I just cannot believe that this happened to one of my favorite book series. It just pisses me off to no end.
Well, I mean, worse things happened to Game of Thrones, although at least that failed in a more entertaining way. Yes.
Yeah, it failed in a more spectacular way, but it was still freaking annoying.
Well, infuriating, but yes.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of the thing, Space Junk. These people are ideologues, but they are fundamentally cowards, and they will not put they aren't really willing to put trans people in anything other than a modern setting.
I'm not even sure if I can even call them ideologues. More like lip service ideology.
Yeah.
I on it. It comes off as extremely cynical. I just get the feeling they're extremely cynical people who just want to make money off of the actual ideologues.
Yeah. I mean, what was it? Well, I mean, Walmart was claiming to be big on racial enlightenment and all that. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I think that this has been an unfortunate pattern. For instance, Terminator went this direction by having John Connor die and be replaced by a Latina chick who is going to be the savior of the world from the
It
Terminator.
was such a blatant move, too. They kill off John in the first 3 minutes.
Yeah.
What was she attractive?
Oh, she's kind of cute, but she's a terrible actress.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Kind of everything.
Yeah. Well, unless you're Scarlett Johansson, who is legitimately a bombshell, and who can Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. I don't think you've seen any movies with her in it.
No, but
or Bridget Regan, who is both a good actress and extremely attractive.
Oh yeah. Oh yes. Pardon me.
Wipe your mouth, Valerian. The drool is probably going to get everywhere.
No comment.
But yeah, actually, this was great. Speaking of somebody who's been working there for 4 years and is trying desperately to get out, yeah, I can assure you that Walmart exists.
Probably have something similar in Britain.
It's like Australia. It's this mythical place.
Yeah, I'm almost. Yeah, I know that like they're like fervent. I know at least like Zoe Robbins is fairly like in the ideology thing. I don't know how much though.
Don't tell me it doesn't sound like a fake supermarket.
Oh yeah, Walmart sounds absolutely like a fake. Yeah, it totally sounds.
It does sound kind of fake, yeah.
Yeah. I'm honestly just I hate this show a lot. I want it to be canceled really, really badly. But they won't cancel it. It's going to keep going. And it's going to get worse.
It's going to keep going and going and going.
So, funnily enough, I'm in a Facebook group called Game of Thrones Shame Posting. And
what?
They made a meme. It was something like, oh, it only took The Witcher 2 seasons to get to Game of Thrones season 5 levels of rating. There's a meme that first time.
Wow.
But here I am. Like, it only took Wheel of Time 1 season.
Oh my gosh. Ugh. We'll have to see how it goes because if I don't know about Witcher season 2. I'll have to see. We're currently watching up to that point. Season 1 is actually decently fine. I like season 1 of The Witcher.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what will happen with season 2. Apparently, like getting to that level of writing, it's like, why can't anything be consistently good anymore? Why is it the best show I've seen in a long time is frickin' Mad Men, and that started in 2012-ish and ended in 2018, I believe. Let me check when Mad Men. Since I watched all 7 seasons of it, just because I was bored or didn't want something to watch, and I just like, yeah, I like this.
Yeah,
That's True Detective. Just the first season, though.
Oh, I was mistaken. It's 2007 to 2015. I was incorrect.
What was I going to say? I haven't watched it yet, but Gray Area had something that said about season 2 of The Witcher, which said, WTH?
Oh dear, that's concerning.
So I don't know. But
Yeah, that's extremely concerning.
But so far episodes 3 and 4 were good.
Yeah, I like episodes 3 and 3. And I like most of season 1. I like pretty much all of season 1. I don't have a problem with it.
What can the second season even do?
Turn Matt into
Oh man.
a murderer.
Make Matt transform into a murderer.
Maybe
Yeah,
they'll
that would
have
be-
more.
Always something.
Maybe they'll have more love
Yeah,
scenes
would
with
be.
Moiraine in it.
Maybe.
You sound
Maybe.
so enthusiastic.
I am. Can't you hear my endless passion?
Oh yeah, calm. You need to calm down. You're like, ooh, wow. Easy.
Yeah, Rosamund
Dampen
Pike.
your order.
Yeah. I'm so excited for how they're going to ruin the Great Hunt.
Yeah,
It's going to be
ruin.
so good. It's
Ruin,
going to be so
ruin.
fantastic.
Yeah, go with it. Ruin. Sorry. Make more furry romance, says. Need more furry romance, says Space Junk.
Yeah. Sounds lovely.
Maybe Loyal will have an affair with Moiraine.
Maybe.
How about please no, says Rebecca.
Well, considering the fact that Loyal is dead. Oh wait, he's not. It was revealed in an interview with the director that no, it was a press release. No, don't worry, Loyal is not dead. Yes, Better Call Saul is way better than this. Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, watch those shows. They are awesome. They're incredibly well written because Vince Gilligan is a smart writer who knows how to set up stuff, unlike Mr. Rafe Judkins, who seems not to be able to do that. And it's really frustrating.
Oh yeah? Well, Rafe Judkins' initials are the same as Robert Jordan's. Are your initials the same as Robert Jordan's?
No, and I don't care.
Thought not.
Yeah, because that's irrelevant because their individual talents speak for themselves.
You don't say. Mr. Irony.
Yeah.
Look, someone has to
Yeah,
troll. Someone has to be the troll.
I've only seen Breaking Bad. I haven't seen Better Call Saul yet.
Oh, it's great. Legend of the Rings Max Magician. Well, Max Magician's more entertaining than this. Not for the but for the completely wrong reasons.
Oh yeah, Max Magician's a riot. Yeah, absolutely. It's a pity that they didn't have any sequels.
Alrighty. I don't have anything else to say. Oh, Dan, you truly are the king of sarcasm. No, I'm the king of innuendo. There's a difference.
Bleh.
Sarcasm is a semi-foreign language to me. That's depending on the topic.
Is that why you had trouble detecting it just now?
No, I'm sometimes deliberate about my ignorance of sarcasm. Sometimes I'm deliberate for comedic effect. Yes,
That's
that
what
was
they all.
in fact serious.
That's what they all say.
Yeah. I don't have anything more to really say about this trash fire. The show is terrible. It's a horrible adaptation. It's a really bland, bad TV show on its own. There's nothing there that's engaging. It's not even like on a caveman level engaging like certain elements of Game of Thrones were. And it's just so frustrating. It's just like, this could have been a great, amazing show. They didn't even need to like stick to the books that closely. Wow. Wow.
By the way, Becca, you should ask Tarek, what would he rather watch, Wheel of Time or Army of the Dead?
Oh wow! Since he's seen that and he hated it. In summary, the show is terrible.
Understandably, it's crap.
Brightness also says, I'm British, I speak sarcasm as a first language. Maybe that explains me too, because I was in Ireland for a while. Maybe that's why I also speak sarcasm fairly fluently.
Yeah. I think that's it. I don't have anything more to say on this piece of crap show.
Honestly, at this point, I'm just like, what even is this show? Like,
Yeah. It's just bland, boring nonsense. It's really frustrating.
I'm pretty sure the only thing I will actually remember,
Do I even
any
want to?
particular interest from this show would be like Logan, maybe.
Yeah,
That's it.
one minor character who shows up for a couple episodes and gets a couple of scenes. Apart from one episode.
On your knees. Oh, no, I didn't say that. Oh, God, no, please. Why did I say that? No, no.
Yes, Becca, you do want to dare reminding him of that movie.
Because it would be hilarious, but do it on camera so he can catch it.
Or at least on mic.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Because I've seen Army of the Dead now, and it's fucking terrible.
Alrighty. We'll call it good for today. We'll be doing the book review on Wednesday evening. The book versus show review, and we are going to be even more angry because we know exactly what they did and what they have ruined. We are going to I have kept the similarity comparisons to a minimum here and mostly just talked about how it fails as a show on its own. But I'm going to get so mad. I'm going to let some anger loose on that one. So please come around for that one. And to sum up my feelings, here you go.
If this was a person, I would strangle it, burn the body, and proudly declare to the world that I had done it, and no